So in today's quick tip, I thought I'd show you how to create a reversed vocal reverb. Now this works so well in breakdowns, and seeing as I've already shown you how to make a white noise riser, I thought I'd show you this little trick as well. So I'm back again with another one of my quick tips in January. Now, if you haven't seen any of these before, then basically I'm doing a brand new music production tip every single day of January. So definitely get subscribed if you want to see more of these. Of course, all the others are still on my channel. Now, in today's video, we're talking about reversed vocal reverbs. It's a really great technique for creating a whole load of different effects. For example, you can use it to create risers or to introduce vocals. It's a really cool technique. So let's not waste any time and get straight into Ableton. So I've got a really basic beat going here. I've got a kick, I've got a tops loop in here, I've got a bass, and I've got a vocal going within here. It's basically come from a whole load of different sample packs just to kind of show you this whole idea. Now, as I say, I've got this vocal within here, and this is what we're going to use the technique on. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a new audio track, and I'm going to drag this sample to it, and I'm going to solo this channel so we can start working on it. Now, you can apply this to just about any vocal and any part of the vocal, but I usually find it works really well at the start of the vocal. So if you wanted to introduce this vocal, so say for example, you didn't want it to just come in straight away, you wanted something to kind of lead into this vocal, then you'd probably use the start of this vocal to create this effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just cut up the first part of this vocal. So this is just this very first sound. So I'm going to put a cut in there, and I'm going to get rid of the rest of this. So I've just got a simple oh within there. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on this to go into the actual clip, and then I'm going to hit reverse on this. And then I'm going to go into the plugins on this track, and I'm going to put a reverb on here. So I'm going to go into the audio effects, and I'm going to put the standard Ableton reverb on there. For now, we're not actually going to do any kind of processing on this. I'm actually going to turn the high cut off of this, because after we've kind of got this effect done, we're going to have it as an audio file, and we'll do all of our effects on it after that. So we don't need to worry about any kind of EQing or anything else like that at the moment. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put it as fully wet, because we don't need any dry signal within here. We just need the wet, because that's all we need. Now, next up, we'll look at the decay time. Now, the decay time is how long you want this effect to go on for. So if you are using this in a breakdown, for example, you might want it to go on the full length of your breakdown, so however many seconds that is. Now for this one, I'm going to put it as maybe 15 seconds, 16 seconds. It doesn't matter exactly how much you do. You can obviously kind of adjust this afterwards, but I'm going to leave it at about 16 seconds and see how we go from there. So let's play this back and see how it sounds. So we can hear it sounding pretty good so far, and what we need to do now is we need to bounce it out as a new audio file. Now, one of the quickest ways to do this is creating a new audio track within here, going to resampling mode, set it to auto, and then arm it for record. And what we can do now is just press the record button to now record that as audio. So what you basically got to do is wait for the whole 16 seconds to be up so that you've got the whole reverb within there. So now we have our audio file, and we can start making some edits to it. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of the original vocal from here. So we can see the original vocal kind of went on this long, and then the rest of it is just reverb. So I'm going to put a cut in here. That is just the reverb coming from this vocal. Now, next up, we don't need this track anymore, so I'm going to delete this. And we're basically left with our reverb. I'm just going to move that to the start of the bar there. Could zoom out a little bit more. And actually, just to kind of trim it up, I'm going to get rid of this little bit here. So what we're left with now is just the tail of the reverb. And the only thing we need to do now is jump into that clip and reverse it again. This is what creates that reversed vocal effect. So let's solo that and let's hear how it sounds. So let's hear how that sounds with the rest of the track. Now I'm going to move it to the start where I got this kind of little breakdown thing happening. And actually I'm going to copy the vocal over because I actually deleted it out of there when I shouldn't have done. And also I'll take down the volume of it because it is quite loud at the moment. So try mixing that in and seeing how it sounds. So as you can see there, it works really well by just using a vocal that we're already using within the track. Now we can also use it to introduce vocals as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to shorten this up and then get it to introduce this vocal. So as you can see, there's a couple of different ways that you can use it. Now, obviously, we didn't do any kind of processing to this, so we're probably going to have to EQ it, probably put a bit of EQ on there. And to be honest, when it comes to using these kind of reversed vocal effects, I usually cut it quite high. So you don't have quite the same amount of low end that you would have on the normal vocal. This is more of an effect. And of course you could add in extra effects on top of that if you wanted to. I put that EQ in there because that's probably something I would do just to kind of EQ some of those frequencies we don't need, but you could add in delay on top of that, or you could sidechain it, create a rhythmic kind of effect with it. It's a very versatile technique. You can use it to introduce vocals or create risers and downers. There's loads of stuff you can do with it, so I definitely recommend experimenting with it, trying it out in your next track. And if this video has been useful to you, then definitely subscribe to my channel because I've got another one like this coming tomorrow and every day of January. So definitely get subscribed, hit that notification icon, and hopefully I'll see you again in the next video.